Hello everybody and welcome back to Red Eagle Politics. Make sure you guys like this video down below and subscribe to the channel if you are new. So we're not going to be making a review video on the debate like we did last time, because in my opinion, I think it is utterly useless. I think it is pointless, and I think we have much better things to talk about, like how this did not change anything, or about how Donald Trump ended up being the biggest beneficiary of a debate that he wasn't at, and how we're not going to be able to sit back here and say he's up by 45 points anymore, because he's now up by 50 plus and counting points, and it's laughable. The Republican establishment donors, they're running around like a chicken with their head cut off, and in multiple polls that have been taken since the debate, people are looking at this and they're saying, hey, Trump is that guy. Trump is still the guy who is leading, and people that were window shopping or maybe saying that they were supporting DeSantis as like a placeholder, or Vivek as a placeholder, or one of these other people, they are now leaving. They are now leaving. They're coming home. They're coming back to Donald Trump, regardless of all of the slander that he's getting thrown his way by these people, regardless of how many times these people get together and repeat the same old, decades-old Republican Party talking points like it's 1983, thinking they're going to save this country from going off a cliff, thinking they're actually going to change the world. They're not. They're not at all in the slightest. It's not moving the needle. It's not. Ron DeSantis got the most speaking time, and partially because they asked him a few questions later on in the debate. For much of the debate, he was in sixth place. And as a result, he would be able to, in, a rational world, if he was somebody that was capable or had a chance, he would be able to use that time to connect with voters, to actually make his case. But what did it do? He was bland. He was robotic. He kind of came across a little off-putting and awkward at times. And as a result, he lost in polls. He lost a good 20% of his support, of his remaining support, much of which went to Donald Trump. And it's like you look at that stage, and it's like none of these people are ever going to be president. Face facts. Whether you like Vivek or not, he's probably better suited in an advisory role. None of these people are capable of carrying the torch. There's no viable alternative right now to Donald Trump. Donald Trump will have a chance to win in 2024. The polls say he's beating Biden, and he very may well. And 2028, you're going to have a different field. You may have some interesting characters in there that will be able to carry the torch, that will be able to get the support and garner the support of Trump's base. And that's going to be what dictates the future of the Republican Party in decades to come. It really is. So you look at that, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. You have the J.D. Vances of the world, the Josh Hawleys, maybe Tucker Carlson as a wild card. Who knows who else will be relevant by then that could be throwing their hat in the ring? We're still approximately, 4 years away from starting to analyze that primary. But as of right now, Donald Trump is still the guy, and he doesn't even go to a debate. He gives a speech that, I'm sure his core fans watch, and maybe some people locally in Michigan and the people in the audience that he gave in regards to the whole UAW strike. But either way, you're looking at it, and still you have this whole spectacle that gets aired on Fox News. It gets aired all over the internet. Everybody's watching the clips, and a lot of people are looking at that, and they're just saying, these are clowns. This is the clown car. Just like a lot of people looked at the Democrat field in 2020, and they said, this is a clown car. None of these people are probably going to beat Trump. And then COVID hit. But still, that's beside the point. You look at 2024, we're looking at the Republican field, and we're looking at Biden as well. And it's like nobody's going to go out there and take on Trump. Nobody's going to beat him in this Republican primary field. I'm not going to tell people to get too cocky ahead of a general election against Biden. We know what our opposition is capable of, and we need to go out there and beat them at their own game in order to win in 2024. But still, when you look at that stage, when you hear what these people are talking about, you don't get any new solutions for any problems that the base cares about. You get Nikki Haley and Mike Pence lecturing you on why we need to be sending more and more millions upon billions of dollars overseas in a conflict that most Americans really just don't care that much about. And they're sitting there and they're lecturing you about how the old Bushite 2004 Republican foreign policy is preferable. That messaging does not resonate with anybody. And you hear Vivek try to go out there and communicate to young voters, and then you hear Nikki Haley basically saying that every time you talk, the people listening get dumber. Because that's how the club operates. They don't like the dissenters. They went out there and they attacked Donald Trump relentlessly back in 2016. He effectively fought back. And he's doing the same thing now, except he is smart enough to realize that he's up by 50 points, and none of these people are even getting close. And there's no reason for Donald Trump to be on the same stage with somebody like Chris Christie or Asa Hutchinson or Doug Burgum or any of these clowns that are polling down there at 1% when he's got the nomination pretty much locked up and he's going there to talk to voters in these key swing states. He's still going to be going to Iowa, New Hampshire, I'm sure. You know, he likes to do a little bit of trolling and he wants to maximize his margins in those states because he knows that it's bragging rights. He knows that it will speed up the primary, make sure it ends quicker than it needs to, that he'll unite the party behind him. Obviously, we know that. But still, beyond that point, you're looking at this and you're saying, hey, he's got the nomination locked up. Now it's the time to go to Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania. It's time to go to Arizona, Georgia, Nevada. Do what you got to do. You got to go out there and you got to take on Biden because this country, every election cycle we say that it's the most important elections of our lifetimes, but it's true. And this election is also going to be the most important election of our lifetime. So the donors at this point, they don't like Trump, and we know that, but they're honestly looking at this as well, and they're saying, why are we going to fund DeSantis? Why are we even going to fund Nikki Haley anymore? Because even though it seemed like they were going from DeSantis to Haley, now they realize both of them are insufferable. Both of them are incapable of beating Biden, and they're most certainly and most importantly incapable of even getting past a primary. They're incapable of beating Trump. Why are they going to throw their money behind them? They should be throwing their money, maybe not necessarily behind Trump. I'm sure Trump will get a decent amount of money from his own just donors, from the average dollar donation of 20 some dollars that he gets. Obviously, that's going to help him out, and he could use some PAC money as well. But I think the most important thing isn't, we're going to fund this candidate directly. It's also, we need to fund a ballot harvesting, a ballot chasing operation so we can win this election that way. We could win. It's going to help Republicans down ballot. It's going to help everybody go out there in 2024, and we're going to be able to win the same way that you see Democrats in 2020, they built up their operation. As a result, it worked in their favor vastly. They were able to use the new laws to their advantage. And while I don't like these new laws, I don't like what Pennsylvania's doing, you know what? We can't change what they're doing, but we can use it to our advantage. I'm sick of the whining. I'm sick of the complaining. And instead, I want to hear action. I want to hear us go out there. I want to see victory. I want to see how we're going to do it. We need the mechanics on our side. But you look at every single poll, another post-debate poll out of Leaguer shows that Donald Trump has a 52-point lead over Ron DeSantis, who is now down at 10%. Remember, this guy was polling within striking distance of Trump at the start of the year in the primary. And instead, he's been such an incompetent buffoon in many regards to even think he had a shot against Trump. So he threw his hat in the ring and it blew up in his face. He's now polling worse than Trump against Biden, and he's not even within 50 points of Trump. He's lost over half of his support since he announced, when we were supposed to hear about the fact that we're going to get this massive announcement bump. Ridiculous. It's not making a dent. All these other people are also a part of a sideshow. Vivek does well at the debates, but at the same time, it's not really going to move the needle in his favor because everybody who supports him, or at least a lot of the people that are supporting him at the debates, which when I watch the debates, obviously he's the one I'm rooting for because he's the the most outsider-esque on that debate stage, still a lot of the people that like him and are rooting for him are supporting Trump first and foremost. Maybe they'd like Vivek as a VP or an advisor, but it does seem as if whatever support Vivek has, it's minimal, and a lot of that's also going to go to Trump. So you look at Trump and Vivek combined in this poll, they're nearing 70%. Those are numbers that are higher than whatever Joe Biden has right now. Those are numbers that an incumbent president typically should get, who has minimal opposition in a primary. So regardless of however you want to look at this, it shows that these campaigns that are supposedly challenging Trump, they don't know how to challenge him. They're all over the place. I would say it's 2016 all over again, but I think it's more like that on steroids. And as of right now, Donald Trump once again wins a debate that he's not at. How do you win 2 debates in a row that you don't even show up for? That's incredible and impressive, and he deserves my praise for that. So we'll see what happens. Trump's still going to gain. It's getting worse. These people are going to get more angry in the establishment camps. They're going to get more vicious. They're going to be floundering all over the place at an even higher rate than before. But as a result, it's not going to matter at the end of the day when Donald Trump's going to wipe the floor with them in the primaries, and we need to support him so he can go out there and take down Biden in 2024 and possibly complete the greatest comeback story of all time, especially in politics. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching this video. Like this video down below, comment down below, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications so you never miss another video. Follow me on social media. The links are all in the description down below. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Red Eagle, out.